Hello, everybody! I have some great news for you today. Okay, less great for me, but good for your listening. See, my dental stuff didn't get done this week. I have to see a specialist to get done, and I swear, I think the man only works like one day a month at my location, and he leaves early. Oh, and while normally I'm really good at setting my alarm to wake up for these, I was not this time. So what this means is I have a new appointment later on this year, as well as a promise that while it may still be hurting just a bit for 4 to 5 days, it won't stop me from talking or make me sound weird like a day afterwards, sort of like a regular cavity or any of that sort of thing. So, yeah. The internet was saying that it could hurt for weeks and you'll be on soft diet for a month or more, and I was worried. I was very worried. At any rate, this means that I will be putting out videos next week, and I even have enough comments in general to do a full comments episode for you guys. So what? I will have that for you on Wednesday. And then we will be continuing with the Hunter's Gambit read along the Wednesday after on the July 21st. And before I forget as well, I have news. I'm going to be starting up my Twitch channel next week. Yes! I'm going to start with like a weekly show approximately, mainly gaming and just chat to start, and then I can branch out from there, okay? So if you want a bit more me in your week, you'll want to make an account. You can join me during the stream or watch it later if the schedule doesn't work for you. I'll provide a link to my page in the description, certainly for the next few streams at least, so you can join if you want, okay? My first day is going to be on the 14th at 9 PST, Pacific Standard Time, okay? So yes, look, I have it up there. So, now that that's all out of the way, what do I want to talk about? Well, my new novel, actually. Or to be completely correct, how I figure out things for my new novel. Now, I think this may be called the Snowball method, but I'm going to be 100% honest here. Drawing everything into little circles doesn't help me at all. Whereas writing it out this way, for some reason, totally does. Okay, now, let's start from the beginning. I currently have about 700 words of backstory. There we go. I currently have about 700 words of backstory, and around 600 of actual story written. So, just a couple of pages, really? Like, 6 or 7, maybe? I have to say, I really like what I have so far. I mean, it's all rough and nothing's really fitting together yet, but that's what rough drafts are for. Imagine it like one of those machines that you put rocks into, and then you take it out later and it's perfectly smooth rocks. What's odd this time around, though, is that I don't have any sort of a story yet. So, what do I have? Well, I do have a lot of world building done. 3 characters that fit into the world really well, and a setting that I think I absolutely adore. So it is going well. But one thing that it's missing, and it's driving me kind of mad, a plot. See, usually I have at the very least an idea of where I'm beginning, and where I'll be ending the book. The base idea of what's going to happen in the story. At the same time, my world building would be horrendous normally. I'd have like very, very, very little of anything done. My rough draft is usually where I build the world up and try to make it unique. This is the opposite. This time I have a world, an entire world, but no story. It's kind of weird. Fortunately, I find out that talking it out, even in a way like this, where I don't have any actual way of speaking to you directly, helps A lot. So, where does that leave me? Well, it started a couple of days ago with me jumping into a room with my character, applying to work as a maid in the palace. Partially because she wasn't fit enough to go to war. The job is essentially only supposed to last for a few weeks. They're having diplomatic members of nearby countries to attend a meeting to discuss a reunification into one big empire. So, knowing that, where do I go from here? Well, I have one race being treated as a half step above slavery. Like they are literally being bred as shock troops used in the human wars. And while I know that I need the story to address that, I don't know if it's big enough in and of itself to be the book plot yet. I also don't know what the main characters can do about it. I mean, my main character, the female, is one of the slave characters, with the main male lead being human. The only other character I know so far is another human, son of a new empire, or emperor, or a current prince of one of the small countries. I haven't decided yet. So, where can I set my story? Well, the battlefield isn't the place for this. The real battle for unification is going to be fought in the hallowed halls, with diplomacy as the weapon of choice. Now that suggests that my story is going to end up taking place over 3 to 6 weeks? Maybe starting when my female lead applies to work in the palace. Now, I don't know if the end of the event will end with any changes being made to the world. All I know right now is that one of the guests is going to decide that the main female character is less than human, and that he wants her for some reason. I haven't decided yet how. But it's at that point that the male lead will enter the story and get her out of the situation. Because he is just that sort of guy. He really does like the idea of being a hero. So I have a bad guy that is motivated by something I'm not sure yet. I will have to figure out him later. I don't even know right now if he's going to be relevant or if that's just an inciting incident. I'll put that on the back burner and we'll work through it later. Let's see here though. So what else do I know? Let's go to something I do know. Okay, there are 3 main races. The first are humans. The second is a long-lived magical race of shapeshifters. They can take the form of any natural, still-living creature. So they can't take, like, dire lions unless dire lions still exist. But they can totally take real lions, if lions exist. Now, the humans have been at war since the original empire broke up, probably within the last couple hundred years. While the reunification event is mainly focused on bringing together these human races, it will almost certainly include the shapeshifters in some capacity, since the humans are not only at war with each other, but some of them are also at war with the shapeshifters. So, where does the third race, the slaves, fit into this world? That part I know. They're half-breeds. The half-breeds tend to have a long lifespan, closer to that of their nearly immortal shape-shifting parents, rather than that of their human parents, who generally only live to be like 40 to 100 years old. That sort of thing. They cannot breed or produce children of their own, though. Lastly, unlike their shape-shifting parents, which can take on any shape for any amount of time, the half-breeds are limited to a single shape, the very first animal that they take. And at least one of the human countries are capturing members of the shape-shifting race and using them to breed shock troops for their wars. So, any reunification event will have to include the shapeshifters in some way. Otherwise, the humans may bring themselves together only to find themselves all at war, having war declared upon them by the other race. Okay. So I've got a good point for a story there. I like that. Let's go with it. Okay, so what else do I have? Well, the 3 main characters I know so far are Seirei, who is one of the half-breeds, Moroku, potentially a true foreigner, like completely from a different continent, not connected to these humans at all. I know he's the son of a glassblower, and maybe the son of an inventor. Depends if I decide to add a steampunk element to the world or not. He might just be the son of a glassblower. Lastly is Sume, a Lord's son who takes an interest in Sayray. Perhaps since his kingdom is further away? Maybe they don't have any members of the shapeshifting race or any of the half-breeds, and they want to learn more about them? Huh? Could be really cool. Oh, if he were actually a member of the other race. Oh, and if I do end up making it sort of steampunky, the other race has actually, like the shapeshifting race, could have befriended the more advanced humans from the other continent. Like, they're willing to give them actual weapons that will allow them to defeat the humans even with their lower numbers, especially since they already have a lot of power on their own. Ooh, I like it. Especially since it allows for Moroku, probably renamed, I don't know, I'm gonna have to see about that, to still be a foreigner. And I like that idea. I really do still want him to be a foreigner. Lots for me to think about there. Especially since the other race would want to know more about why they're literally being attacked by, like, thousands of half-breeds. Leading to Moroku's potential rescue being not entirely a fortuitous action. Or at least it won't be seen that way by my main character, Sayray. Okay, that has promise. I like it. I'll look over that later and see if it still makes sense. A plot almost certainly to convince Moroku and Sume to disband their alliance and maybe have Moroku join the humans instead would probably be the A plot of this story. Leaving the B plot to be my love story between the human who's horrified by the idea of a half-breed and a half-breed that has been taught to distrust him and his allies since their birth. Oh, wait! I figured out what the humans want Sayray for! They want her to find a way to destroy the alliance, the Sume Moroku alliance. She did make it into the army, but not as a grunt, as a spy. That would work! Oh, no proof that it will stay that way, but this could work. Oh, okay. I will work with that. Anyway, so yeah, this is how I do my planning. I set out what I know of the world, and I start snowballing situations and characters and world building until my plot and my setting and my characters all come together. They aren't perfect yet, but they're totally getting there. So, what do you think? Would this story captivate you so far? Would you want to read it? Let me know in the comments below if you see any particularly cool situations that could take place in here, or places I could take the story from here, even if it's completely out of left field. I'm not going to guarantee that everything I use will be, like, everything presented will be used, but, as I always say, we are smarter than I will ever be alone. Remember, if you liked this Behind the Pen episode, then like the video, and don't forget to share and subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, I can't wait to see all of you next Wednesday. Both for the comments video here on YouTube, and hopefully for my Twitch debut as well. That's going to be again at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until then, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you then. Bye.